training, also known as SALT. And by the way, from my vantage point, your shirts look excellent. Thank you for putting them on. We're going to take a sweet group picture at lunchtime. I am Shannon Drury, and I'm the Student Activities Coordinator at Green Run High School. First, I do want to thank you for being here the first week of summer and taking a risk. How many of you were here last year or the year before? Okay, a few friendly faces. Good, you guys are still in for a new day. We have some great new breakout sessions, so please, again, have that open mind. For those of you that are new, I'm very excited for you to be here because we're all student athletes. And right now, talent on the court, field, pool, track is not enough, okay? There's thousands of us that have a lot of talent. But what sets the successful athletes apart is being physically fit as well as being mentally fit. And so the Beach District a few years ago started this program to help train our student athletes on the mental side of the game. So thank you for taking a risk and being here. We're going to go over the whole schedule after our keynote speaker. And to kick off today, actually it's very close to my heart. She's a former player of mine. Stefanie Fee is going to start off this morning. And let me give you a little bit of background about Stefanie. She went to Cox High School, so she's a Beach District alum. She played 3 varsity sports all 4 years of high school. She was first team Beach District in all 3 sports her senior year, as well as the Tidewater Female Athlete of the Year her senior year. Oh, and the 3 sports, I don't know if I said, sorry, were soccer, basketball, and field hockey. But she went to Duke on a field hockey scholarship, where she was an All-American, as well as an academic All-American. And if excelling at Duke wasn't enough, she then played for our national team in the 2016 Rio Olympics. I'm looking at this. She played in some World Cups, and she has played in over 100 international competitions. She has retired at the age of 28 from field hockey and has started her own business called Powerhouse Field Hockey, where she trains youth field hockey players on and off the field with fundamentals as well as leadership training. So it is my pleasure to welcome Stefanie Fee to SALT.
Thank you for that last time. Can you hear me? Awesome. Hello everyone. I'm so excited to be here. It sounds like you guys have a great event planned. I first want to thank the Beach District Office of Student Affairs, Marianne Laffler, and of course my very own high school basketball coach for setting up the event. So let's just give Coach Drury one more round of applause for setting all of this up. I'm so happy to be back here in my hometown with my friends, family, parents, coaches, teammates. Of course, my mom had to come to the event, so hi Mom, hello. Right in an awkward spot on my good side, but when I was 9 years old, I captured a very big dream for my life. I was watching the final match of the 1999 Women's World Cup soccer tournament with my parents, USA versus China. You could just feel the buzz and excitement bursting through the television. The game was a grueling back and forth battle, midfield possession, attacking shots, defensive saves, scrappy play, close calls. Eventually the game ended in a tie and led to 2 full overtime periods that again ended in a scoreless draw. As if my little nine-year-old emotions could handle any more, that meant that the game would be determined in penalty shootouts. 5 players from each team were selected to take 1 penalty kick. China went first, and for everyone that they scored, USA answered to keep the score even. Until finally, on China's last shootout, USA goalkeeper Brianna Scurry dove with full extension out to save the shot, which placed USA in a winning position. If USA scored their final penalty kick, they would win the World Cup. I remember it like it was yesterday. Randy Chastain sunk this ball right past the China goalkeeper for the win. The stadium went absolutely ballistic on the television with players celebrating and cheering and crying with pride and excitement. After a portion of time, I remember being very still, just taking it all in. All the images of these players holding the American flag and wrapping their arms around each other as a tight-knit group representing the United States of America in the sport that they loved. Once I finally unstuck my eyes from the television, I turned to my parents behind me. I had no words and they could just tell my mind was reeling. They simply back at me and with a knowing smile said, "One day, Stephanie, one day." Fast forward a bit, I did play varsity soccer, basketball, and field hockey all 4 years and had the opportunity to captain in all 3 my senior year. I changed courses from my original soccer dream in my sophomore year and chose to play field hockey in college. Like Shannon said, I played at Duke, and I also had the opportunity to captain there my junior and senior years. After graduation in 2012, I did make the national team, and I was working for 4 years on a 32-player roster to be one of 16 selected to go to the Rio Olympic Games. So talk about a very awkward scenario when you're with your friends and teammates and you're fighting for the same but very limited field positions. But as stated, I made it. I am an Olympian, which is really cool to say. Now, I'm not here to give you a 10-step guide on how to become an Olympian, because nor do I ever think there will be such a thing. However, I do hope that some of my points do resonate and inspire you in your careers on and off the field. First things first, in order to achieve greatness, you must imagine great things in your life. Notice how I did not say, in order to achieve greatness, you must set really, really high goals for yourself. Of course, those are important, but first I want you to imagine true greatness in your life. It is possible that you already know what this looks like, and if you do, keep that in your mind for this 1-minute exercise. But I want everyone to take a minute, right now, close your eyes. Really, close your eyes, don't fall asleep, and no, you're not too cool to do this. Close your eyes and imagine greatness in your life. Capture a dream of yourself accomplishing something incredible. See yourself in a high and successful place. How does it look and how does it feel? Try to be as descriptive as possible in your mind's eye. For you, maybe it's becoming captain your senior year, a college at a particular university, a CEO of a company one day, an entrepreneur, a professional athlete, a national team player, an Olympian. And then, once you have that picture painted in your mind with permanent ink, open your eyes and set your goals accordingly to that vision. Create tangible goals and a checklistable plan to get you there. That's definitely not a word, but I'm going with it. Maybe in order to make it to that dream university in that specific uniform, you need to master an elite skill. Well, what would 10 extra hours a week look like to the execution of that skill and your ability to perform it in front of that college coach? Need to get a certain SAT score in order to get into that college? Well, what do you need to do to attain that score? Do you imagine yourself wearing a captain's band your senior year? How are you earning the respect of your teammates right now in order for them to trust you as a leader? The key is that you must be intentional in your pursuit to achieve greatness. Line up your actions daily and deliberately to be in tune with the vision that you have set for your life. Which brings me to my next point. Once you have set the vision for greatness, never let anyone or anything tell you that you cannot, that you can't do something. Back to my 9-year-old scenario after the USA win, what if I looked back at my parents behind me with my heart racing and mind buzzing, and they said, "Well, Steph, the odds of you making the Olympic Games," and this is a true number, "Well, Steph, the odds of you making it to the Olympic Games are 0.00013%. So good luck, kid." Now, I'm fortunate that they did not say that at any point in my life. But listen, people aren't perfect. Life isn't perfect. The odds of your vision are most likely not in your favor. But don't let imperfect people, situations, or odds discourage you from the pursuit of your dream. I never let it, and I never will. There are going to be things that try to derail you from your vision. Maybe a coach, a parent, a teacher says something that might discourage you, or you didn't make a certain team, or perform as well as you wanted to in front of that college coach. The truth is that you will, if you haven't already, have something that will come in the way and try to knock you off course. Life's speed bumps will happen, and sometimes the path to your vision may become a little blurry. But in those moments, I encourage you to take a deep breath, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and figure out an alternate route to your destination. Don't give negative things, words, or other people the time to derail you from becoming who you want to be. Instead, surround yourself by supportive people who admire your drive and build you up rather than tear you down. You can never control every situation in your life, but you can choose how to react to them and use them in a positive way to pursue your dream. Next tip for you, and the core to my success, remain humble humble and hungry. First on humility. Those who flaunt their success or become too confident in their successes are the first ones to place a stall on their trajectory towards progress. Overconfidence and cockiness are the killers of growth, because you fail to properly appreciate all the work and help that you received to get to that point in the first place. Humility keeps your mindset, your work ethic, your drive, all in check so that you can continue to advance in your success. Humility is also a pivotal piece to leadership because it allows you to understand that you represent something much bigger than yourself. And not only that you represent it, but also your actions and decisions as a leader on and off the field play a pivotal part in a team's success as well. Second, remain hungry. Specifically referring to your hard work. The fact is, one of the most draining parts about being an athlete is that there is always more work that can be done. The most successful athletes adopt the ability to remain hungry in their hard work so that they continue to push harder, move faster, and ensure that their tomorrow is always better than their yesterday. The moment you become satisfied in your training or work ethic is also the same moment you miss pivotal chances to become even better. Or worse, it is the same moment where your competitors can take an edge on you. A little story from the 2012 Olympic Games, just before the panel of Olympic runners. And for the sake of the runners, I will refer to them as runner 1 and runner 2. The reporter asked the panel of athletes, "How confident are you feeling going into this Olympic Games? What is the key to your success?" Runner 1 immediately piped in and said, "I'm very confident going into this Olympic Games. The key to my success in this sport? I take no days off. There's always something you can improve on. More sprints, more rehab, more nutrition, more lifting. I haven't taken a day off since the last Olympics." The reporter with a shocked expression said, "You are meaning to say you haven't taken a break in 4 years?" Runner 1 said, "Even my rest is calculated and productive. I am always hydrated, always stretching, always learning more about my sports on the internet or in books. I have no vacation from the sport because I'm working to win the gold. I love the sport and I want to win." The reporter continued with huge skepticism and asked, "What about Christmas? Come on, you don't even take one day off?" Runner 1 said, "Never. Training on Christmas, that is my advantage. When my opponents are sleeping in, I wake up early for a run. This is the key to my success. I gain an edge on my competitors when I check one more training session off, and they nestle in for a day off on the holidays." The reporter shrugged and looked back at runner 1. "Wow, that is dedication." Then the reporter notices another runner smiling at the end of the table. The reporter said to runner 2, "Do you find something funny? You've been quiet for this entire interview. Tell us, what is the key to your success in this Olympic Games?" Runner 2 looks over to runner 1 and then back at the reporter. Runner 2 smirks and says, "I train twice on Christmas Day." Drops the mic and walks out. The reality is, there's always going to be someone better than you in your sport. And most likely, someone aiming to work harder than you right now. So there's no time to find comfort in your hard work. Yes, be proud of it. Use your success to spur you on, but never rest in it. Remain hungry in your work ethic and your pursuit towards success. Here's a tip. Many athletes think of things as sacrifice when they refer to putting in the work and effort towards their sport. For example, it's a sacrifice to not be able to stay up late and watch Game of Thrones on a game night. Or a sacrifice to constantly make healthy choices for your diet. Or to replace a chance to hang out with friends and instead go to the gym and get better. The definition of sacrifice is the act of giving up something for the sake of something else. In all honesty, the thought of constantly sacrificing something for your sport can be very draining and eventually very unmotivating. I challenge you to place a more positive spin on it and think of your work and effort as investments towards your success in your sport. The definition of investment is an act of devoting time, effort, energy to a particular undertaking with the expectation of a worthwhile result. An investment mindset helps you understand that your actions, even small ones, can lead to major outcomes of success in the long run. So to recap, in order to achieve greatness, you must imagine great things in your life. 2, once you have the vision for greatness, never let anyone or anything tell you that you cannot, that you can't do something. And 3, in your pursuit towards greatness, remain humble and hungry. And lastly, I want to end on a topic of leadership, since this is the most relevant topic to us here, and something that I found to be very true throughout my athletic career. Leadership is not a title. It's not something to be considered like an award or a trophy. I want you to begin thinking about leadership as an influential platform to impact the world around you. You have the decision to either engage on that platform or remain in your comfort zone and never tap into the special opportunity that you have before you. When all is said and done, the most legendary leaders will be remembered not by the amount of minutes that they played, the amount of goals that they scored, or by the trophies they won. Rather, they will be remembered by the way they impacted and touched the lives of those around them. The key that drives legendary leadership is your time. Time is the most precious and unrenewable resource that you will ever have in your life. The amount of time you are willing to invest in people on your teams, in your classrooms, schools, and community will define who you are as a leader. So I challenge you to wake up, look around, and start seeing the lives in your world that are waiting, wanting, and in some cases needing to be influenced by you in a positive way. Make the most of your journey in life, in sports, and in your pursuit towards greatness by boldly choosing to impact the world around you on your platform of leadership. Thank you.